Hello and welcome to the Carnegie Report for September 2022. I'm Gary Peer.
And I'm your Samuel.
I don't know if we should call it the Carnegie Report because we're doing stuff in Ormond and Caulfield East and Glen Huntly and McKinnon and all around the office, but we'll Murrumbina.
You can run with that for now.
We'll stick with that for now because we've got a lot of Murrumbina results to talk about. We could almost just say, look, call it the Carnegie Murrumbina Report. Call it what you will, but
well, we are City of Glen Iris specialists, Gary, but we like to tap into the borders as well of Stonington and Kingston.
We've got a lot of offices.
surrounds.
You know, I've never really thought about this, but we have a lot of offices in Glen Iris, don't we? I suppose when you talk about the two Caulfield offices, the Carnegie office and Murrumbina office and Bella, 5 locations in City of Glen
We are the Glen Iris specialists, Gary.
Guess so, yeah. Fair enough. Let's talk a bit about the market, talk about what's been happening out there. Good clearance rate last weekend, 76% was very, very good, especially given the average was sort of around 61% out there. So well done to our team and congratulations to our vendors and our buyers who purchase from us. The market feels good, but, you know, interesting time. We're now in spring. There's a little bit of a spring in the market as well.
There is definitely, Gary, and compared to this time last year where we were in lockdown, you know, the results are starting to balance. You know, we've seen some really good buyer activity. You know, all right, the prices of last year have come off a bit, but you know what? I think the alignment's starting to happen, which is great.
Well, it sort of feels like vendors are accepting now that the prices aren't what they were, and buyers are seeing value.
Sure.
And that's what it feels like to me. Would you agree with that?
100%.
And of course, the problem for buyers right now, not the problem, but the reality for vendors is the prices aren't what they were, although some homes are as much as they ever were. But I think buyers understand that probably unlikely now to go down less. You know, interest rates are still low. They could go up.
That's
still low.
That's what I'm leaning at, Gary. But I think interest rates, with the fact that it's literally returned to pre-COVID levels. So if you look at pre-COVID, interest rates where they're at now, and people are accepting the fact, and you know, if they're concerned, they're locking their money on fixed rates as well. But definitely a shortage of stock, and good homes are still doing very well, as you hear with some of these results we achieved.
They are indeed, Leo, and good numbers of people around as well. It's the other thing we've seen. There's been an uplift in the number of people going to homes, so the per open for inspection number has increased, which is also a telling sign of an increasing appetite for people to get involved, get their moves happening, whether it's downsizing or upsizing or investing or buying your first home, moving out of home perhaps. We are seeing a lot of activity out there. Let's talk a bit about some of the properties that we've sold so people have got a bit of an understanding of what they can get for their money, because we've been selling a lot of stuff at a variety of price ranges. We probably won't talk about some of the, you know, the very basic apartments, but we have sold quite a lot in between sort of $250,000 and $400,000, and even in the next bracket,
amount of volume.
A good volume. But let's talk about this property in Shepperson Avenue, Carnegie, because that was pretty popular. If I'm
It
not
was
mistaken.
popular, Gary. Yeah. Single level villa unit. We always, if people go back on the reports, we always mention buy villa units. If you can stretch a bit more from an apartment, go the villa unit. And this one sold, to a lovely owner-occupier, and Shepperson Avenue, right near all the action of Koonang Road shops. Definitely a great offering.
Wallace Avenue, Murrumbina is a great address. That sold well, and by the way, Shepperson sold for $742,000. This one sold for $1,060,000.
Sold before auction by Jack Slater. Yeah, lovely pocket of Murrumbina on the cusp of Hughesdale, there near all the Poth Road shops and the newly revamped Hughesdale train station.
Now, if you want to head toward Murrumbina, you can buy in Toward Avenue. This one, 104 at 7 Toward Avenue, sold for $540,000.
Nice story with this one, Gary. We had taken it off another agent, so we always love it sometimes coming in on the second time, even though they should have made the choice to come with us the first time, but we did sell it before auction.
Never mind. Looks like it was meant to be. Now, the price of Coling Avenue, Carnegie, is undisclosed, but it was in the range, which was, actually it was over the range. Tell us a bit about that property.
That's a lovely pocket off Carnegie, right near Packer Park. This townhouse, probably about 11 years old to be exact, sold by my brother Viv Samuel, backs onto Packer Park, and sold them to a lovely owner-occupier for the most lovely family. So a good transition in the mix there.
Edgewood Street's a good address. We've had quite a bit of success there. Let's talk about 28 Edgewood Street.
Well, Edgewood Street is part of the sort of the Carnegie Triangle, we like to call it. A good story here as well. We sold it on behalf of the most lovely clients of ours. Jack Slater ran the campaign there. Good story because they appointed another agent to sell the other half when it was brand new, and it literally sold for $200,000 less. And you talk about the market where we're in now with the market going down. This one, actually, the identical one, sold for $200,000 more 2 years later.
Wow, there you go. What was the difference?
Exactly the same. This one is probably one half of the other, Gary, right, with the left hand, which is different.
I think there was one big difference.
I'm sure, with the agency, of course. And Jack Slater with his yelling out bids at auction. It was very the theatre of Jack.
You're not missing Jack at an auction, that's for sure. 22 Coringa Road in Carnegie, sold by Viv. Great property, great address.
Great address. And 5 bidders went for this one. Lovely single level home. The demand for land. This one, we're seeing a lot of these 2 on the block villas where people are potentially looking to add a second level with council approval. But if you think about the old units built in the 90s, they literally, land was cheaper back then, so they built 2 on the block where they would have maximised it now. But that one went really, really well, and the buyer saw it in the local paper. So for those buyers thinking that buyers just see it on the internet all the time, this one actually came from the local paper that we do a lot in.
There you go. So print not necessarily dead by any means. Leo, Murrumbina Road, Murrumbina, the price is not undisclosed there, sold for just perfectly on top of the range at $1,650,000. Tell us a bit about that property.
Sold. It was a lovely sort of Spanish Mission deco home, corner Lindsay Avenue, Murrumbina Road there. And for those buyers that didn't know, Murrumbina Road, one side people think like the Carnegie side, anything on Murrumbina Road has a Murrumbina Road address. So sometimes it sits on the Carnegie side, it's Carnegie. This one being on the Murrumbina, probably confusing a few people, but anything Murrumbina Road is Murrumbina. So there's some facts there.
One side is Carnegie?
No, that's what I'm saying is anything on Murrumbina Road, even that's the Carnegie sign, is known as Murrumbina. So there's never a Murrumbina Road address /
and
that
if
is
you're
Carnegie.
one house in from Murrumbina Road on the Carnegie side?
Carnegie.
There you go.
So there you go, some facts.
There you go. They're interesting.
So if you ever see Murrumbina Road address, just maybe queer that unless you want to dig up their council rates. Notice that they probably had big...
So if it's Murrumbina Road, it's Murrumbina. If it's one house in on that side, on what would be the west side, then I suppose
that's
it's
exactly
Carnegie.
right.
There you go.
But back to the point of this home, lovely home sold to an owner-occupier who's moving from Pakenham back towards Carnegie Murrumbina Way.
Fair enough. They'll be enjoying the Pakenham Inn. It's a very popular pub there.
That's it. Well, I think it's a shorter train stop, Gary, with the Pakenham line along the Murrumbina Carnegie station. He thought, you know what? Might as well reduce my trip by half.
Fair enough. Hunter Street, Carnegie, that is one that sold privately. The asking price was 1,645, sold pretty close to that.
Yeah, great townhouse there. And that newly McKinnon zoned area has just really taken off up towards of 20% growth we've seen in the last 3 years.
Well done to Graham Callan, who sold number 36 Munster Avenue. That's a beautiful street, Munster Avenue. Some really nice homes there. And that one sold for $1,770,000, very close to the ask price just after auction.
And you're the Munster, Gary, they used to like the underbuilding characters as well. The Munster, who's that?
The Munster, Graham.
That's it.
Graham, what's his name?
From
Kinnerborough,
that's it.
Yes. I don't think things ended up well for him, but for those that like the underbelly series. But look, when I look at the Munster, I think about the actual television show, The Munsters, which was
black and white days.
I always used to like that. I used to love the theme song too of the Munsters, but we won't play it because we can't, because they've got, what do they call it, royalties or something?
Yeah, exactly. After 30 seconds, I think it kicks in though. You can play up to 30 seconds and there you go.
That's right. We might
play
put
up to 29 seconds.
A bit of Munsters music on it. Let's move on, Mr. Samuel, Mr. Carnegie, to some of the new listings, because we've got some beautiful new properties coming through. Very nice, neat list there. Very messy, but that's okay. There is some order within your mess, which I love. Number 368 Nearham Road's coming up for auction. That's in Carnegie. Graham Callan Auctions.
I love this one because it's nestled between our Carnegie Murrumbina office and Nearham Road there. Lovely Art Deco home there, good piece of land, and so much potential you can sort of do with that one because it's got the general residential zoning, GRZ1. So whether it's utilised as a home or a development site, we'll know this Saturday.
Now, if you want a real estate agent that speaks German, English and Mandarin, there aren't too many around.
It's Gary
all
Pitt.
Three.
How do you bet him?
Das ist sehr schön, yeah. Konnichiwa. That's not Japanese. Okay, I'll stay away from that. That didn't work well at all. But Jan Dosen can. She can speak all three. And she's handling 1B Kakula Court that Phillips auctioning. That's in Ormond, of course, and that goes up for auction this weekend.
Kakula, what do you reckon they subdivided? The person that did the development, what background do you reckon they were?
Kakula?
Greek or Italian, maybe Cyprian?
Could be anything. Could be anything. But I know the property is fantastic, and that's going up for auction. 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2 parking spaces. That's already this weekend, 11:30 a.m. We're going to be in Truganini Road in Carnegie, and this time it's all about you doing the auction.
Yeah, Truganini Road's a great apartment, near new, modern, and it's got a fabulous courtyard, and it's been very popular with the open for inspection attendees, and I think it should go well this Saturday. I'm auctioning for Graham. And
you're auctioning for Joel Sir, property on Murrumbina Road. It's been very popular also this weekend.
As I said before, Murrumbina Road, being in Murrumbina, it's a great villa unit, very popular as well. I think that auction should go really well, and you can see a bit of a theme, Gary, with this sort of prices, vendors a bit more aligned. Then the buyers returning. We believe we'll have healthy competition with that one, but a great villa unit as well.
The sun's shining for spring, but if it's cold, make sure you put on a jersey, and you can get down to Jersey Parade in Carnegie, being auctioned at 3:30 p.m. again by yourself.
Yeah, Jersey Parade, lovely group of townhouses there. Amongst all the action of Koonang Road shops, because Jersey Parade sort of backs onto the library there, the Carnegie Library.
Good spot.
Selling on behalf of a really great developer there. We've sold a few of them already and we've leased a few out. But Jack's been selling this one, and I believe this one's the pick of the bunch.
Now, we've got a couple of other properties just to talk about. We've got something in Heath Drive.
Caulford Heath Drive, Gary.
You've been there.
I know that well because in 2005, 17 years ago, I used to spend every 2 till 3.
You would have been a teenager then,
before the races, I used to hear it at Caulford Racecourse, go, the quaddie legs come in. But I used to camp there 2 till 3 because I sold all these 41 townhouses off the plan. So Heath Drive, Manchester Grove, the Safeway or the Woolworths in Glen Huntly there, that's the group of townhouses. And I like this one, Gary, because I sold it to her off the plan 17 years ago.
There you go.
And you got to love the fact that, keeping in touch, and I got the business back. But one thing is, she's seen good growth on it because I always knew that pocket would kick off England Huntley, and she's definitely kicked the goal.
Well, thank you to the vendor for entrusting us with that wonderful property. We're looking forward to bringing that one to you and all of the details. And of course,
another one in Buran we should cover off on.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So Buran Road, 240 Buran Road in Ormond, right near Egun Reserve, next to Mr. Brightside Cafe as well.
Is that Hungarian Reserve, that one? Because Egun is, Hungarian for okay, I think. Egun, yeah.
And Estevan Park around the corner too,
exactly
all the Hungarians out there. But this one is a really lovely home. It was built by a landlord client of ours. It's sort of 2 side-by-side homes there. It's modern because you usually see anything brand new side-by-side is 2 stories, but they built 2 3-bedroom single-level homes. But that one comes on the market this weekend, perfect for downsizers, investors, or someone aspiring to get something in the area.
And you don't have to be Hungarian, but if your name is Tibor or if your name is Susie or Dutsi, you're welcome to come along. But no matter who you are, we'll see you.
And speaking of the Hungarian name, Elizabeth, and obviously the sad news last week with Queen Elizabeth II.
Yes, she was never really an Urgie, was she? I suppose maybe in Hungary they called her Urgie, but Queen Elizabeth, of course, this is the first Carnegie report without the Queen reigning over us. So,
and Jerry, the public holiday, Thursday week.
I like it.
You like it. Golf's cool. You've got to pay penalty rates and membership.
Look, it's expensive. We've got 140 people to have to pay. But you know what? That's a sacrifice I'm prepared to make for my golf game with no guilt because there's no work. I'm not taking any time off work and there's no open inspection. So,
and then you got the grand final with the Carlton. Sorry about Carlton as well.
Yeah, well, how'd Essendon go?
Not too good.
Yeah, we had some chance.
Who's your call? Who's the winner?
I've actually done something extraordinary. I never bet on the football, but I bet on Geelong to win. I've done it. I bet on Geelong to win. So if my punting form is anything to go by, they've got no chance. But I've bet on them to win.
You back the favourite. So all those punters out there, a tip, the favourite.
Oh, there you go. Exactly right. But it's not a short, hot favourite. It's not like it's black caviar paying $1.10. It's
or wings,
3-1, so not bad. That's a big wrap on the Carnegie and Murrumbeena report. Where things are happening and things are pumping. There's lots going on. So if you're wanting to do something in Carnegie, Murrumbeena, or anywhere around the area, and you happen to know this gentleman, give him a call. And if you don't know him, he'd love to meet you. But we will keep you informed with the news as we get more involved in spring. But it feels like a very bouncy, good spring. Spring has sprung, and we're looking forward to bringing you all of the great real estate news on this Carnegie Murrumbeena report. I'm Gary Peer.
And I'm Leo Samuel. Have a fantastic week.